led by. Here is to Bakaima's continued success, and may this conference mark the beginning of many more impactful years ahead. Thank you, and I wish all of us a successful, insightful afternoon.
Good afternoon, Right Honorable Lumumba. We have regulators, we have insurers, we have bankers, and tax persons.
Associates with also other stakeholders in the value chain who are our members as associate members. So what we do as Area Uganda is to improve on the professionalism of the real estate practitioners.
We do risk management, and when you look at the value chain of what is happening in the real estate, there are so many players in there, and therefore when you look at all these, they require some risk management frameworks that insurance can come in and support. And I'll be able to give you some more details shortly.
Yes, we have been working closely with the associations because stakeholder engagement is one of the strengths that we use to reach out to the smaller players in the industry. It has been quite easier as we enter into MOUs with such associations like Area Association of Real Estate Agents and maybe others.
I would like to say that housing is a basic human need and it's essential for the well-being of mankind. And for those of you who are familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, housing or shelter features prominently in about 3 or 4 of those hierarchy of needs. And indeed, a 2.5 million housing deficit, as is being quoted, poses several challenges to urban development and economic growth.
Kasule Lumumba, our Minister in charge of General Duties, Office of the Prime Minister, the Board Chairman of Bakaima Real Estate Agents, Mr. Philbert Kirama, the CEO, Mr. Karim Kawesa. Next media team, I guess they're here as well. I haven't seen Mr. Karisa. I was told he's meant to be here, but I'm sure they're here. Very happy to see all of you. All ladies and gentlemen, I know we have also panelists who will be coming across to discuss a few topics. And everybody who is here, good afternoon. I've been told that I should be able to give a keynote speech or address, which I don't think it would qualify to that. But what I want to say is, first of all, to congratulate the Bakaima for attaining 10 years of serving Ugandans. And for us as partners, as Centenary Bank, we are happy and always proud to be, operating alongside them to ensure that we deliver services to the ordinary Ugandans, especially those in the rural areas. So we are happy and we congratulate you heartily. I'm sure most of you viewers and everybody who is here are aware of the UN SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. There are 17 of them. And the goal number 1 is to do with ending poverty. Ending poverty. And there have been discussions of how do we measure absolute poverty. And then there is a basic needs approach, which is usually used to measure poverty, especially in the developing countries. And when we talk about basic needs, we can refer to the material basic needs, which are usually referred to as 4 of them. One of them is, of course, food. People need to have food as a basic material need. They need to be clothed. Clothing is a basic material need. Health care is also a basic material need. But most importantly, shelter is the 4th basic material need that have to be provided. And if all these 4 are provided, then we could say that people are getting out of poverty. And as you know, Centenary Bank's mandate is to deliver financial services to the ordinary Ugandans, especially those in the rural areas, with a view to try to end poverty or minimize poverty. And in doing this, we realized that shelter being a key material need, for us as a bank, we could possibly not be able to deliver it. So we had to look around for a partner, and that's when we landed on partners, institutions like Bakaima, to be able to partner with us, to be able to deliver this particular material need. And we want to thank them very much, because again, as you have let you know, we've been able to deliver quite a bit to a number of people in various areas in this country. Again, partnership. So we want to be very grateful for this partnership. We've always believed in partnerships because one individual, one institution alone may not be able to deliver everything to the full satisfaction of everybody, especially in a developing country like ours. And I can tell you that Senate Bank has been around for the last 40 years, transforming lives, doing through partnerships like this, delivering services, and that's why as we speak now, it has the biggest branch network in this country as far as branches are concerned. 81 of them and still growing. We are in Kotido, we operate from Kamuli, Koboko, Yumbe, Nebi, to Bwera, to Kabale, to Kisoro, across the entire country. And we also boast of the biggest agent network, again as another channel of delivery of services, currently serving across over 8,000 agents. And all this helps to deliver services while at the same time augmenting provision of employment.
Industry is improving, better players are coming on board, and we believe there's going to be a lot more value created if all of us work together as a team. Because if we can address the demand side and address the supply side, then we're trying to get an equilibrium which can deliver value to all the stakeholders.
There is a Chinese proverb that says that a journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. And Bakaima's story that started 10 years ago and is still going, we want to appreciate you as Absa Bank. We have a brand promise of your story matters, and I believe that Bakaima's story really matters. Our purpose statement as Absa, we are empowering Africa's tomorrow together, one story at a time. Every customer getting property, we are empowering you. Every customer acquiring land, we are empowering you. And we are glad to be part of the journey for Bakaima. I've been introduced to Fred Sembati and I head affluent banking. And when we talk about affluent, yesterday the conversation was really very energizing. We focused on the affordable housing, on the low-cost housing. When we come into existence or the world, we have, even right now, we have the first world, we have the middle income, we have the low income economies. Is that right? So we have high end customers, we have middle income customers, and we have low income earning customers. So Absa, we look at all the customers.
Ladies and gentlemen, and Madam Minister, I want to draw your attention to the issue of government in relation to the housing. Government has not helped so much in empowering or showing goodwill in developing low-cost houses. That is our target, because the biggest market are low-income earners. We want to create and change this. I was able to build a house in the village, a very big one, because that was a promise I made to my mother. Where's my mother? My mother is there. She has also come to join us. So my mother, I had promised her that we would build a big house. And I think we've seen a house on the screen. That is the house I put up in the village because that was a promise. Yeah, there it is. That was a promise I made that we shall change the narrative here and we shall have a big house in the village here. And it is a dream come true. I want people to know that this is very possible, Madam Minister. But we want goodwill from government. If government can help some of us, the youths, we are sitting on a time bomb. The greatest population in Uganda, they are youths, between 17 and 35 years. These people do not have jobs. But I am very sure that they are very good, they are very creative, they are innovative. Let us find ways of creating companies. These youths are willing, they have good ideas, only that they don't know where to start from. I want you, Madam, to help us and talk to government and help the youths. If I had not developed a second skill, Bakaima wouldn't be here. But I'm happy that I'm employing quite a good number of people, the youths. I have a good number of employees that I'm employing now. Much as before I was an employer and looking for a job and being tossed here, right, set and there. I am now employing the youths, over 20 of them. If you have this, I understand we have a minister for youth. I actually sincerely don't know what they are doing, but may I have a good plan for them? This money you are giving to everyone, not everyone can manage money. But if we can have these youths, select youths for regional balance, we select like 5 youths from each district. We have over 100 districts. And then let them share their ideas to us. When they share ideas, we see how we can empower them, help them to grow. Within no time, we will have very good entrepreneurs. But this issue of Madam Minister bringing local foreign investors, we have an investor who is going to set up a factory, and then we employ our youths. It is not going to work very much, though we want it to work hand in hand. As you are doing that, let us also consider the youths who are here. They are good entrepreneurs. They have ideas, but they don't have someone to pull them. I am so happy with the people when we were trying to drop these proposals. There are people who received us with both hands. And there are those who did not, who chased us away. One of them was Mr. Ajal, who received us. There was Mr. Abdul Chanika in Centenary Bank. When he read through our proposal, he was happy. He said, this one is going to work. There was Mr. Oyaga, Patrick. He was working in a post bank. He also received us without any conditions attached. And then Mr. Chanwat, Robert Chanwat. All those people, I have invited them. I don't know if they have arrived, but I invited them because I'm still in touch with them. These accolades you see here is a testament and a sign that Bakaima has been built on partnerships and collaborations. We are here as we celebrate 10 years to thank these people who are there for us, who accepted to work with us. We want at least to give them these accolades in memory of showing that they really matter in our lives. They really matter that Bakaima now exists. Bakaima is now talked about. We have been working very diligently and being professional in the industry to show others an example that things can actually work. We can at least right the wrongs that happened prior. Our predecessors started this business on very rock grounds that they were not able to sustain their businesses for longer periods of time. So we are working around to avoid unprofessionalism in the sector, together with our president, Area Uganda. At least we have that association that guides us. They help us to guide us on good principles in terms of working well in real estate, handling customers, good customer care, and making sure that you don't start playing around with the people's money. Government to know that the moment you empower, the moment you show goodwill to business people, you are going to be able to get good taxes. Why? If you move the journey with me, I will know government was there for me. Government helped me through. But 10 years down the road, I have never received a call from any government official saying, Bakaima, how can we help you in this business? We see you are selling land. How do we help? How do we come in? We want that, we are lacking that. And it's a very many reason why people don't want to pay taxes. Because as you are starting, no one is caring. But when now you establish yourself, then now they do what? They come. That's not good practice. Let us encourage our youths, our business people, when they are doing business, check on them. Try to ask them what is happening. Organize at least workshops for us to see how we can be able to move this business beyond our lives. That is very, very important.
CEOs of the different partners, the banks, Centenary, ABSA, insurance companies, the regulator, the ministry, they call the, is it Nabatra? What's Nasuna? The tax levy. ABSA. Yes. And all technical people from the different ministries, in a special way, the chairman of board of Bakaima and the executive director and the team, those who have been the first customer, the first advisor, the first funder, the first, I liked that word, the first, but I'm not anywhere, the first in any of those. But here I am today. It also say I'm the first today. Yet the last. To welcome in a special way the person we should congratulate, we should salute, is the mother to Karim. Another special person to celebrate today is Karim's wife. And we celebrate those who accepted their proposals when they were looking too small, looking very unserious, but you would not look at that, but you would look at not the size of the head, but you would look at what they've written. That is very important, and it's a lesson to us. Let's clap for all of those he has named. Another person I want to celebrate us today is Mr. Kasule. The first person in this sector. What's the name? Mr. Kasule? Patrick Kasule. Let's clap him and clap for him and celebrate him. Because he opened the eyes of many. You came up with these ideas because he had showed you, he had showed us that this is another sector where nobody was bothered, but he took it up. With all those he worked with, I want to celebrate him. I also want to recognize the presence in a special way of Owekitiibwa Ekisengede Yudaya Babirye, Minister w'ensonga d'obwakyabazinga bwa Busoga. You people just let us just be happy, because today is a day to be happy, as we thank God for the gifts He put in the team, those who started the idea and those who were able to make the Karims know that there was this opportunity. And here we are as government to celebrate that they are paying taxes. I also want to take this opportunity to thank His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, because under his stewardship, he has given us a very big gift, the gift of peace, which we take for granted. All of this is able to be because you have your sons and daughters who are working day and night. When we are eating, they are not eating because they are on duty. When we go to sleep, they are outside, making sure Uganda is safe. The people in uniform, we salute them. Why I said we celebrate the mother, when he was talking, in that I was seeing parenting. Parenting. That means the parents were there to tell him that whatever you go through, never give up. That never give up is important. And it's never put in a child after 12 years. It's put in a child when he's young. I'm a teacher by profession, so I'm telling you this professional. So this is a lesson to us, parents. I don't have young kids. The youngest is 21. So if I failed it, that means I don't have a chance. So for those of you who still have chance, please make the child be what you want the child to be before has made 12 years. We are here because the poor parents of Karim and his team, he has introduced his people. Is it Kalule or Lule? Lule. And yes, because Lule would have also discouraged him. That why do we go to struggle? Why don't we go for something quick? But he didn't. I want to say Lule, you were his backbone, you were his pillar. We should clap for you. But what I advise you, you know in life you can hustle and hustle. And when you are hustling, most times you don't live your life because we don't go for leave, we don't take holiday, because we always don't want to go away. After you've done your money, find the time and enjoy your money. Because it is common, I always sit with people. So, he has raised quite a number of issues, but his story is so inspiring. And his story also shows you that we still have virgin sectors where people can sit and think and be able to break even. And that's why he's advocating for the youth, saying that you people, if you can no longer think, especially adapting in the new issues and challenges, and find some space for you to be able to fix yourself or fix others, give space to those who can think so that they add value and create more space for the young people. That's a good idea. I take it in good faith. Thank you so much. The issue of Bakaima and other real estate developers, I'm here on behalf of NRM government to say thank you. Because we as government have also been around for quite some time. I've been in parliament since 2001. So when the guy was talking of, when I was in senior team since 2001, for me I was already in parliament. But in the neighborhood, I didn't know the person. He was too small to come near me or to even send a message or engage to me because I was a member of parliament then. But because of his work, he called, sent a letter, here I am. So his fruits have pulled me, wherever I am, big up as I may be, but his work, there's no one would say no, I had to come. So, when you are talking of what you went through, and you're advocating for the youth, yes, we are challenged as government. How do we provide space for the different people at different levels, at different space? Yes, you may say provide us with this. Sometimes you also need advice. Let me give an example. Universities have been complaining that they don't have resources to do research. Government gives 36 billion to Makerere University for research, gives to Mbarara University, and gives to Gulu University, and gives nearly to all government universities. I think it's only Chambogo that is still complaining, and we're working on that. And when we give them money for research, we have not done so well as government to give them the research agenda. What is just say we have the National Development Plan, we give them the NRM manifesto, and we also give them the different plans of the ministries together with the development partners. But we don't give them the research agenda. By the way, don't expect us who are in government. I'm a minister, general duties, the office of the Prime Minister. Me, I'm everywhere in government. But I can't know the research agenda because I'm not competent and I'm not qualified in every field. Now I'm a teacher by profession, teacher for secondary schools. Do you think I know everything? When I left university in '97, things have changed. So we need you people who are in the field to advise us, so that even if we are giving the research agenda to the different universities, we have been able to generate ideas from you who are hands-on. We are regulators, you are implementers. But what are you giving us? So while I was seated there and was talking, I said now, in the office of the Prime Minister, together with the Ministry of Finance and the National Planning Authority, we must create a platform where we sit with people in the different sectors, not purposes of taxes, but to generate ideas so that we make the researcher center, the research agenda, to simplify your work by informing policy when you have participated as the people who are in that particular sector. It is something that we must work on as government together with you. Still, when he was talking, the youth, when we are starting, there is nobody. By the way, first of all, congratulate yourself. I'm a Catholic, for you a Muslim, I would say make a sign of the cross. And thank God that you are among the few companies that register with government, and you are able to get to your first birthday when you are still breathing. Many don't. Actually, 60%, 68% don't make it. But for you, you've not only made it to your first birthday, you've made it to the 10th birthday. Congratulations. So, I'm also going to write it to the Prime Minister, and then we shall continue to the Cabinet, so that the cry are brought out on behalf of others. When people register with the government, they pay. But what do we give back in them to train them to come up? We will only say, we have this program, they come running. Like, let me give an example. We have now the GROW program to help women who are already in business to come up, to be facilitated, to access, to enhance their businesses and whatnot. Of course, working with the banks, because we have to work with the private sector. But even as we do that, is that what we needed? Is that what we are required? So it means we must continue working together with you to make things work out. Now, when it comes to issue of the youth, we've given youths money. But even those who got never say I want to get. When if I say here how many got, they will tell, nobody will put up your hand from government and say I got money from government. One, because some of them got and they can no longer account for it. Got but they can't repay. Got but there is nothing to show. It's because we didn't do to fill up the gap. You said when you are registering, who is there to help you, mentor you, help you, train you into becoming a company like Bakaima. So we had the issue of the Youth Livelihood Fund. Some communities have paid, some have not paid. But when we go out to demand for the money, that is when they will tell you how bad we are as NRM government or how President Museveni is. But then when they were taking it, they didn't think of that, or they didn't see that. And yet it's a revolving fund that they are supposed to pay back, and it goes to somebody else. Equally, we have different funds in government, apart from the youth. Let me give an example. For those who are so rich, the extra large, in terms of manufacturing, there is funding under UDB. If it is for under energy, construction of hydropower or solar projects, there is money under UDB. But no, we realized that we are keeping that money, giving it to those, and there are few, yet the majority don't have access to funding. And yet, when you go banks, this is true, though you will not be happy with me, Mr. Kasule and team, the interest rate is too high for somebody to break even. The rates now in the commercial banks. So, government brings out facilities like the agricultural credit facility and the Bank of Uganda, which is also money given to commercial banks, to make sure people can access money at 10, 8%, and go have big farms in agriculture, invest in agriculture. We also have money under the Bank of Uganda, still given to banks, For those, what we call the COVID recovery fund, this is for all, but for those who are small scale, to help smaller industries, smaller investments recover from the COVID. And in the interest rate is 8%. Those are people with the companies or investments that are which are worth 200 million and below. And we also have funds still under government of Uganda, the Microfinance Support Center, for a company or an investment where you have 30% women owned or 30% men owned. That is, you access that money. And also under UDP, we have also that component where you have a company registered, 40% owned by women or youth, you access funding. Because that is one way of affirmative action to the youth and the women. Then we also have, still under Microfinance Support Center, we have money that are grants given to women groups and youth groups. And then we also have the Islamic banking. We got 10 million US dollars, for which I want to say that we have not been able to utilize fully up to now. But yet this money is with the government. People out there want cheap money, but they cannot access. Before I come to the reason why it is also it has also been what has caused the challenge. Now, after you have looked at the large scale, the middle ones under microfinance, plus money in commercial banks, and the different programs like GROW under the Private Sector Foundation and the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, we also have money, what he's calling that giving those who are not yet ready to handle money, that not everybody can handle money. Let people get money. Government has had money, and the money has been in the hands of those of us who are up this way. Let the villagers get money. They pay taxes. They are the ones who buy the items that you sell to them, and you are able to pay taxes. So when the government sends the 100 million per parish, it is money to that parish. So if government can send the 100 million per parish for the next 5 years, and people pay back that money, at least maximally after 3 years, it is a revolving fund that remains in that parish. It doesn't come back to Kampala, to Bank of Uganda, to the Treasury. No, it is a revolving fund. So if at the end of 5 years, we can have 500 million direct from government to that parish, and then some have refunded, so that means to be more than that. Let's now take the responsibility. You who are informed, you are business-minded, to help the local people also be business-minded in their small scale. On the small scale, it will help. Let's work on the mindset of the people. Don't leave it to us in government alone. We are too few. Ugandans in this country who are in the government structures, right from LC1 up to the president, we are about 3.6 million leaders. But you know the statistics of how many Ugandans we are now, especially those here, because some are in the diaspora. So we should agree that it is our responsibility to work to uplift the ordinary people, so that we can all sleep, so that you can be happy in your business. You can imagine, I've been seeing here on the screen the different estates or projects you've had in the different areas. I've seen one. You can see this one. You have now demarcated, you are going to sell this one. And these people are going to build houses. But how is the neighborhood? In case there is a neighbor who doesn't have, and is still in the grass thatched house where me and you grew up in Ibujiri, you know what will happen? This one who has built a big house this side in your estate will be thinking the other in the grass thatched house is only planning to come and steal from the rich. Then the rich will be fearing that the other poor one is coming. So the poor one will not be happy and will not sleep well, because joy is not in his mind, is not happy. This rich one will not sleep because he thinks the poor one is always peeping at his house. How do we balance the two so that the rich one can sleep and the poor one can sleep? It's to make sure the poor one is also uplifted to get to the level of this one in the Bakaima Real Estate. education is part of it. I want to say thank you. But also, you don't need a lot of education to make money. It's about the mindset. Because if you evaluate those who have been buying from you, many of them must be coming to you with people to translate your agreements to them in their local language so that they understand what they are entering into with you as Bakaima and the other estate agents. So, my point is, you have done good. You have even decided to celebrate the 10 years by having panel discussions here, informing the other people, those who are not part of Bakaima but who are in the sector, to understand the challenges and the advantages and opportunities that exist in this subsector. But you can only flourish if many can come to buy from you. So let's work together with the most vulnerable, the local people, to make sure they come out of poverty and be able to buy houses. Nobody would want to stay in poverty. The poverty, I should use the word maybe, dignifying that one is not good enough. It demeans. It makes you feel like you are not a full human being. And yet we are all created in the image of God. So let's make, and I also want to say, since God, you have really put everything to God, let's see, make every human being created in the image of God, reflect the image of God by feeling good. I want to take this opportunity to thank the Bakaima for, first of all, taking off time to celebrate in a style that there is information sharing. Information is power. But I also want to take this opportunity to thank NBS for giving us the platform. Because they could have come, but you could have said no. We had already engagements with other people who already signed with contracts for this time, but you said, let's use this opportunity to be able to come and share and be listened to and listen to others. We don't take you for granted. We want to say thank you. I also want to thank Bakaima. Thank you, Bakaima At 10 Thought Leadership Conference. It's very important. But also in a special way, thank you for being part of the team that is implementing the NRM manifesto. Of course, he'll tell you he doesn't belong to NRM, but I want to inform him that he's implementing the NRM manifesto, in which we promised Ugandans, under the leadership of President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, under urban housing, we promised to enhance wealth and job creation programs to sustainably raise citizens' income levels to enable them to afford decent housing. So when you make people pay, deposit 30%, and then they continue making paying in installments, you are helping us get here. That those who don't have money to pay at once, you have made them get to banks and have been paying in installments. You are helping us implement the NRM manifesto. Then we also promised to provide essential public service, including clean water, sanitation, healthcare, education, to informal settlements in Kampala, especially in the slums, and these other areas which you have built into estates, meeting the standards, even where we have not been able to meet this commitment and this obligation. You, as Bakaima, you have provided the water, you've made the roads. Though you pass the cost to the customer, still I want to say thank you, because you have organized people to come and access that service, even at a cost. I want to say thank you. Then we also promised to reduce the cost of building materials by using our minerals such as limestone, clinker, and iron ore to develop integrated industries for building materials, especially cement and steel. The President gave a directive: we should not export raw materials, especially the iron ore. Because when we export, we are giving jobs to those where the raw material is taken. Then they bring back processed products and they sell to us expensively. Let's make everything here. And that's why when you see now investments are going on basically, majorly in Karamoja, the clinker industry, that is getting the materials, the limestone from that one in Moroto, and getting the materials from the Rupa sub-county in Moroto, so that we have cement and it's cheaper than the current cost, so that the ordinary people can afford to go to the banks, to Centenary, to Absa, and be able to take advantage of that facility of constructing the house, but also ensuring that the cost is low. And even for those who have constructed, making sure water is provided, but also at a cheaper cost, but also quality water, but at the same time, the cost of electricity, both for in our housing areas. Then the government has also recapitalized the National Housing and Construction Corporation to build low-cost housing for public servants and other citizens. But the challenge, it is not meeting the demand. Because we cannot put all money there, because there are other demands that must be met, even including security, which require for us to continue this. Then also we have to build houses, especially in the industrial parks. This is something we are also working on, but though we are moving on at a slow pace, but that means we know, but the challenge is only the issue of resources. Of course, some are going to say there are others that I don't want to talk, especially maybe issues to do with corruption, but that one also has to be fought by all of us. It takes two for us to be concluded and more. I also want to take this opportunity as the Minister in charge of SDGs to thank you. When you look at all the SDGs, nearly out of the 17, 14 fall under this sector. When we talk of no poverty, like Mr. Kasule said, you cannot talk of no poverty if somebody doesn't have good housing. Somebody must have where to sleep and sleep well. And when we talk of no food, you cannot have food and eat and get satisfied when you have nowhere to sleep. You must have good accommodation. So they are all related. So you always look at basically at SDG for 11, they want to do with sustainable housing, but it really, housing affects nearly everything. Under the Bakaima Real Estate, you are getting good oxygen, clean air. So when we talk of the clean city, it's not only about the dust bins on the roadside. It also includes how you clean the air that you breathe in, especially in an area where you can control, and that is your home. So I also want to take this opportunity to also, by the way, for that I can be your consultant, even at no pay. The only challenge maybe would be time, but we can discuss that as time goes on. So I want to, as I conclude, I want to express my sincere appreciation to Bakaima Real Estate Agents for your leadership, resilience in transforming the real estate in this country. Our regulator from the Ministry of Lands talked about the current law, the Fiscal Planning Act, the land policy, the housing policy, all of that. But for them, they are legislators, you are the implementers. Let's continue moving together to make sure this works out. I want to thank in a special way the inspiration story that Mr. Karim has given here. Young people. May I want to be sincere. Had I been the one, I would have given up. I would have given up. I want to be sincere. But that shows you resilience and determination, innovation, humility, and trustworthiness is what has brought you this far. Help us as government, Mr. Kasule, you people in the banks, people who are in the microfinance, private operators, people in lending businesses, what is coming out to the vulnerable people who have been able to access the Bakaima and other real estate agents. When somebody wants a loan, is signing for a loan, and there is the condition of somebody is signing for a loan and also signing sale of a property. Let's separate the two.
I was told the story partly, but I was so overwhelmed when I heard it all from the horse's mouth. Banange nsaba twebaze omwami oyo with a round of applause. I will not take so much time, but I just wanted to tell you that okay, I didn't introduce myself properly. I am a board member in Kira Motors. We are the ones who are doing the buses. I am a biochemist by training, Makerere University, but I also have an NGO, which is dear to me. I mentor young people, the youth. I go to universities and the communities to talk to young people to believe in themselves, to be resilient, and to do things by themselves. I am going to invite you. We normally use people like you. They come and talk, and then young people are inspired. I am so overwhelmed with the fact that in my experience, I see very many young people, especially from the East, who are very bright. They are bright, they have ideas, they are innovative, but because of so many hurdles in their lives, and even just believing in themselves, they are not able to be like you. So I want to congratulate you for the difference between them and you is you had the courage. So many people have written concepts and everything, but the courage to go on and persist. I really want to commend you. I come here and I want to send greetings of His Majesty. I was even actually texting him there, telling him that your man is a very, very serious gentleman here. I bring greetings from him, and as a person from the culture, I would like to add to whatever everybody has said here. Build inclusive houses, build sustainable homes. But I would also want you to consider conservation of our cultures in the architecture, in the things that are around the homes. Madame talks about the affluent people. I went to Hawaii and found a village which was constructed on the concept of the original Hawaiians who are there. And it had, of course, the modifications, but it was such an awesome place to be that if you pick such a concept and build the concepts which are involving African culture, you will get so many big buyers, especially those who have money and they are not from here. They would want to own such a home. So you could have Bakaima African village, and then hype it, you know, the way you people are doing your things, young people nowadays. Hype it, and it will market Uganda as a place which has these concepts which are conserving our culture.
10 years anniversary, Bakaima Real Estate. This is an honorary award. It's presented to Centenary Bank for our long-term trusted and strategic financial partner in real estate financing. Centenary.
Congratulations, Centenary Bank.
Absa Bank Uganda for our long-term trusted strategic financial partner.
Congratulations. And who is up here on the platform is also going to be recognized. To service providers who have also been very instrumental in the journey. kikyensobodde. Douglas. Bano we batukubira obulango, they are doing a great job. Thank you very much.
We lay our future in thy hands. You